You did a little testing. Do you want to tell everyone how that went?
I just went to, Chat GPT, and
There it
I
is.
say it wrong all the time, but I won't admit it. I went to Chat GTP and
Oh, you just did it wrong.
Sean
Sean
here,
here. He's got glasses. I have 20/20 vision, and we're just two guys who know a little about a lot.
and we do know a little thing about reviewing a lot. And being a decade apart, we definitely see things a little differently.
Right. And by now, you should know the drill. This is Sean Squared, the podcast where we only have 20 minutes before cutoff. That's it, 20 minutes to give you our unfiltered opinions on things that probably matter.
And we have a lot to review today: movie trailers, rants about AI, and so let's jump into it.
A few callbacks for our dedicated audience of these past two episodes. Feels like more.
Thank you. Thank you for being our friends.
And a quick recap for those who are new, who are just now joining us. Sean recommended I watch The Island, which I did, and we talked about it last episode, but we never ranked it. So, Sean, out of five Sean Squared logos, what do you give that?
Man, I have to give it a 4 to 4.5 because it has a core memory, and I did watch it without any trailer, and it just was it was motivating at the time. Now, this was back in the 2000s, so that was the time. Now you watched it 20 plus years later. So how did you feel about it?
Yes. Well, you mentioned trailer, and we'll touch on that in a second. But as for the film itself, I gave it on Letterboxd. If you're not following me, it's Sean underscore shopper. But I gave it a 3.5 stars because, and this is funny. This is how I ranked it. You could tell it's a Michael Bay film right away with those oversaturated colors and extreme explosions, and all of the obvious product placement was, just a little distracting, as was Ewan's American accent. But still,
Yes.
worth a watch. Worth a watch.
Yeah, definitely a period piece for sure. Also, the music videos at that time were just littered with product placement. It was like how the industry was. And back at the time, we didn't really notice it. You know what I mean? And I think I watched that movie on like a 27-inch TV or something like that. So it blew my mind in 2000s. So let's talk about the trailer a little bit though, because that is my biggest gripe with this movie. And I think someone could put something in the comments. It's the worst trailer I've ever seen because it gives away every single thing that happens in the movie. Like, I don't think, and maybe even the ending, I can't remember, but if I would have watched this trailer, I never would have watched the movie because I don't think it would be an experience.
Yeah, I agree. It spoils the entire thing. And again, I don't know also if it spoils the ending, but I mean, it's just like a timeline of exactly what happens is in the
I,
it's in the minute trailer. It's like, okay.
and that was the original trailer, so it wasn't like a trailer from later. Like I'm just blown away. I've never seen a trailer that just literally lays out the movie. It's more like, what did you call it one time? You called it like a synopsis or a,
Yeah, well, pretty much there's a trailer. It was like the summary of the movie. Yeah.
but that doesn't, yeah, it's like not a book report, man. It's supposed to make you want to watch the movie, and especially when a movie has some real twists and turns. You don't want to give away the twist, right?
Well, exactly. I've come to the point where like I don't even want to watch trailers for anything because now it's just like a slate. Certain months out, you get the teaser trailer, or maybe
Yeah.
even before that, you get the poster or like a teaser poster, and then you get the teaser trailer, trailer one, trailer two,
Yep. Yep.
trailer three, the actual poster. I mean, it just keeps going on. That's like the process now. But yeah, at this point, I try to avoid, especially for like the big films, I try to avoid trailers at all costs.
Well, to our filmmaking friends out there, it's definitely there's a science or there is a sales process that they follow. And I can't remember. It's like they release like a certain amount of seconds a year out, a certain amount of minutes, 6 months out. And there's definitely a process to it in the the larger scale movies. I didn't know that. I actually learned that this year.
You know, I always wanted to, and I always wanted, I considered being like, how do I get into just trailer editing for like big films, you know?
I think it'd be a lot more stressful than you think. Because again, the Michael Bay trailer was garbage.
Well, yeah. And then you get into Marvel, it's like you literally cannot give away certain parts of the movie. And you can compare like trailers to the actual movies, and sometimes they just have something completely different.
Yeah, I love when you kind of are forced to see a trailer and you go to the movie, you're like, that was completely different than I expected. Whether it was good or bad, at least I wasn't, the trailer didn't ruin it for me. We also, switching gears, we're talking about ratings and how ratings were evolved because we talked about how Roger Rabbit came out the year I was born, correct?
Yes. 1988.
Yes, thank you. Um, so we were talking about how insane that movie is, and we challenged each other to rewatch it. And I'll be honest with you, I just rewatched the trailer on this one, and I was like, "There's no way I'm rewatching this movie because it is crazy." And even from the trailer, you're like, "There's no way this movie is PG today,
Well,
not
yeah,
even close."
you mentioned you wouldn't even let your children watch it now, right?
I wouldn't let my children watch a movie like this because it's just too chaotic, too provocative, and the language, it's a pretty wild movie, and we know ratings have tightened up. And I think children's movies have gotten better in general.
Yeah.
They are interesting to watch, and they're worth sitting through. I will say, I'm going to drop this here. I am so excited that Lilo and Stitch live action's coming out next month. I will be there with or without my kids, because when my son was born, he watched that movie like 1,000 times. And that was one I didn't think they would make, to be honest with you.
Well, I have low expectations, not for Lilo and Stitch. I love the movie, but for live action, because obviously Cinderella just came out and it just absolutely tanked. And
Snow
honestly,
White, Snow White.
oh shoot, what did I say? Cinderella?
Yeah.
Because Snow White absolutely tanked recently.
Well, Snow White, to be fair, was a period piece that definitely has some issues. And to remake that, they changed it quite a bit, as they should, and I believe the actress defended that, but I just don't think people are willing, and they shouldn't be, wanting to tolerate some of the older innuendos and things. But unfortunately, knowing that it was going to be changed, people should have given it a shot. I haven't seen it yet. We will probably watch it. But with Lilo and Stitch, I'm a little bit worried because the Stitch is awesome. I've seen the commercials. Stitch is great, but Lilo is such an iconic character in the film.
Yeah.
I'm like, how are they going to duplicate that sarcasm? And I'm rooting for the actress. I think she's going to do great. I'm curious to see how it all comes together.
Well, remember when the first Sonic trailer came out and everyone bullied it because Sonic looked like crap pretty much?
Yeah.
And so the fans bully them enough to where they changed it to actually look more like actual Sonic. And I think they nailed Stitch right away. So I don't think they need to
Stitch,
fix anything.
yeah, then the Stitch made a Super Bowl appearance and everything. So we need to move on because, guys, we only have 20 minutes. So we're going to rock through this. Really important. AI is here and it's here to stay. It's coming for you.
For you, your wife, your children, everyone, it's coming.
Yeah, learn to fight robots. No, um, we want to talk about it in the film world specifically because we've been listening to a couple podcasts and we learned some things about promptography is
Hmm.
now a thing, and they're also trying to decide whether to have their own genre for it, and people are submitting things that aren't real, and there's no regulation for it. And so basically, they're saying AI is doing to photography what photography did to painting like a century ago, which
Yeah.
is, think about that. That's crazy. But at the same time, photography is probably not totally going away. And so essentially, this artist created a completely AI generated image using promptography and submitted it to a full photography competition via Sony, correct?
Hmm.
And they didn't catch it, and he won. So he withdrew his submission and said, guys, this wasn't even real. And they wouldn't have a conversation about it. And that's all
Hmm.
he wanted to do was say, promptography is beautiful. I love building images, but we need to make sure that if you're going to enter something that is generated or altered, it needs to be its own category. It needs to be specified, right?
Yeah.
So There's a
Yeah.
huge war going on.
Yeah, and to that point, I think I can't remember, we might have varying opinions on this, but when it comes to like the Oscars, there was, or just in general, AI becoming into TV shows and movies, it's gotten backlash for sure. The first example I can think of is Secret Invasion, which is another Marvel reference, but like the whole title sequence was AI generated and everyone just hated it. I mean, because if you think
Mhm.
about it, a lot of people like lost the job or at least the opportunity to
Yeah.
create that title sequence. So again, when it comes to like movie or films, and like how we can implement AI, it'd be cool to see like a category for like best AI short film, best AI film, international. You can do anything because there's already like if you think of the Oscars, there's so many different categories now, like best international film, short film in general. So why
Yeah.
not just make a category AI related, just to kind of ease the masses.
100%. But you're also, if you're working in the industry, you're going to have to be prepared for the first level of workers. A lot of the grunt work is going to be cleared out. And we're already like starting to use some of these things, like voiceovers are now not fully replaced, but a tool that's been replaced. First rounds of editing are being replaced. A lot of podcast editing is automated now. And we're starting to see the rise of robot generation. And there are images surfacing of robots holding film cameras.
Yeah, we're screwed.
There's they're they're already using robotic arms to do like product commercials, but now robots that can move. Well, they're going to obviously be able to do more dangerous things because if the robot accidentally falls off the cliff, filming this sequence that's amazing, as long as it's uploaded to the cloud before it disappears, then you know.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say is like, it's not necessarily about being afraid, but start being willing to modify your position, start learning about the possibilities. Because if you can be ahead of it, then you can operate it. It
Yeah.
is coming though. So,
Yes, and you did a little testing. Do you want to tell everyone how that went?
well, I mixed all of this information that I was learning and I just went to, chat GPT and
There it
I
is.
say it wrong all the time, but I won't admit it. I went to chat GTP and
Oh, you just did it wrong. You literally just said it wrong.
I got on to AI and I got onto Sora and I was like, okay, what is promptography? So I typed in this prompt. I just made something up because in my mind, I want to see a full robot set. So I was like
Yeah.
a full film set with robots. So I just was like, why don't I just use promptography to generate this?
Mhm.
And it was okay. It generated this image. It's just like, it's okay, but it doesn't feel real, right? It's definitely like not perfect. So then I went back to Chat GPT and I said, here's the prompt that I did. Here's what I'm trying to do. Make it better. And so I used
Insane.
AI to make my AI prompt even better. And this is what it generated.
God, that's quite the image.
Isn't it? Look at that drone light. And okay, the giant robot's a little silly, but here's the prompt that it gave me. Look at
Yeah.
that prompt. How detailed is that? And so, to make my image even better, I just removed the line about the giant robot. And
Hmm.
then it regenerated this third image, which I'm happy with. I feel like this could be real or a music video at best, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a little bit over the top. You'd probably in the next 5 years have one or two robots, but in theory, this was me taking that and making it a real visual using AI tools. And I was shocked how easy it was to do it. This whole process, all three images, everything took maybe like 7 minutes.
So looking at this last image, do you think we need robots to look human-ish like this picture compared to just like the arm crane right there?
Well, I don't know. They're already doing it. And I don't know what the need for that is, but I think they're going to do it. And I think they're going to want
Interesting.
it to feel, unfortunately, like it doesn't matter what I think it's going to happen.
Oh, that's
So I
unreal.
think it's inevitable. The other thing as a business owner, a filmmaker, and we'll brush through this quickly. Another one of the episodes in that podcast, she is a business expert, and she was talking about how it is now widely accepted to use AI to generate your headshots. And it is widely accepted by LinkedIn. And they're saying that AI is generating more authentic images because you're submitting 5 or 6 of your own selfies where
Hmm.
you're not being fake, you're being legitimately happy, and the AI is using the image of your true happiness to make a headshot instead of you standing there all stuffy trying to pose for a photo shoot. So,
Yeah.
headshot photography could be obsolete. And
Hmm.
that's an industry right there. That's a section of people's business is shooting headshots, and it could be gone.
Yeah, and speaking of like obsolete, one of the other podcasts you recommended we listen to mentioned like the theory. I don't know if it's theory necessarily, but like of a UBI, which is universal basic income. It's like we'll come to the point where AI takes over a majority of our jobs to the point where all of our stuff becomes obsolete and to the point where we can just kind of chill and relax at home and still make an income of let's say like 2K a month, which doesn't seem like a lot, but the way it works out is everything, all of our necessities won't cost as much because we'll
In
have,
inflation, it would, in theory, bring inflation down. Now, neither one of us are economists. Neither one of us are highly tech intelligent,
Mhm,
but it's an interesting thing to look at when you're like, what happens when everything is replaced? They're already talking about theories of what a post-economic labor would look like, but
mhm.
I do think we're a ways out for that. I think the whole moral of this podcast is don't be afraid. Start embracing, start playing, start testing, use tools and be ahead of it and start learning how. Like maybe you're 18 and just graduating right now. What do you go to school for? Probably artificial intelligence because it's going to help you in your everything.
Yeah.
Whether you're a business owner, whether you're a filmmaker, whether you're um, want to do a hair salon. I have no idea. The point is just start paying attention.
Yeah. And like we mentioned, we know a little about a lot, and that's about all we know on that topic.
We d- we have a lot of assumptions on that topic, but we are listening, we're learning, and then we come to the end of the day and we don't know anything. So,
Yeah. But hope you guys learned a little.
yeah.
So we have really enjoyed giving each other recommendations when it comes to movies on what we watch, and that is something we think we kind of agreed on that we'll continue in future episodes, right? But Sean, we have two exciting episodes coming up. Would you like to give a little preview of what's to come?
Yeah, we're super pumped because the next 2 episodes we have 2 guests and they both have the most interesting stories. Next week we're talking to Clayton Kruger. He has an incredible journey across the country, and the following week we have a super special episode that I'm not going to release any information right now, but you
Mystery.
do not want to miss either one of these episodes. And we're super pumped about it. So please check it out.
Yeah, so like Sean said, you don't want to miss these next two episodes. But for now, I'm Sean, and that's Sean. And if we haven't annoyed you too much, make sure to like and subscribe.
And if you want to read the entire transcript, just ask.
Of, of what?
If you want to read this episode, if you don't like watching, we will give you the
Uh,
transcript.
we make a lot of cool visuals in the podcast, so make sure you watch on YouTube so you can see the visuals.
Just kidding. Thanks for watching. Sean Squared. Peace.
Peace.
Are you ready?
That sounded clear.
Yes.